Week 55 of my coronavirus log, the next to last week I'll be doing this. Details and timestamps are below, and here's the general outline. Saturday, March 27th. So it's just shy of 24 hours since I got my second COVID vaccine, and so far so good. I haven't had any ill effects, haven't felt sick or anything like that. So maybe I'm lucky. And now just got to wait the 2 weeks before the immunity kicks in. What else going on? In the news? Holy mackerel. There is a huge container ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal that is blocking all traffic through the Suez Canal, which is a major deal. That is the major route for shipping and supply chain to run from Europe to Asia. So it is just got to be devastating supply chains. And as a global supply chain guy, I get what a big deal it is. More for the Europeans than for us, but it doesn't mean that it won't impact here in the States as well. Also in the news with the Yankees, there'd been a big debate about whether veteran Jay Bruce was going to make the squad or Mike Tauchman was going to make it as a fifth outfielder. And turns out it's become null and void because Luke Voit, the Yankees' first baseman and the home run leader for the American League last year, has to have surgery on his knee. It's like, shit. So Jay Bruce, I guess, is going to be the starting first baseman. Shitty news, but at least they've got a veteran in there that can step in and do that without juggling the entire lineup. And then Mike Ford will probably be down in the minors still because he's still got options. So. But otherwise, just enjoying a Saturday. Sunday, March 28th, relaxing morning. It's about 11:20. Just started raining out, so I've actually already got my 2 normal walks that I get in with Sammy. Got it in first thing this morning and just finished one up to get ahead of the rain. Sammy is in her normal spot on the love seat across from me. So always enjoy the weekend mornings to just drink some coffee, listen to the radio this morning. I was listening to EQX's Sunday Rewind. Jason Keller, one of the DJs there, goes through and does a bunch of old school music and stuff. Really enjoyed that. And right now I'm listening to Triple J Unearthed out of Australia. It's got to be like 1 in the morning right now. I'll just do a bunch of reading. The news. I'll go through it and try and catch up on the weekly magazines, The Economist, The Atlantic, and then I'll do some reading from, like I read Ms. Marvel, a couple of editions of that. Pint Size Punk, this month's edition came last week, and I got to go through and dig into that. I always end up finding some new music through there, and I'll have to listen. They do a playlist as well. So it was nice yesterday. I got a chance to catch up via FaceTime with my friends Ryan and Bree. And Ryan used to be at EQX and did the EQX exposure stuff. And actually, I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But it was nice. They actually were telling me that they were going through and kind of binge watching all the different episodes or whatever you want to call them, videos from my Corona log. And they were like, it's so interesting to see back in like May of last year, just kind of the perspective of things and revisit it. So it kind of cracks me up. They're like one of the 3 people that must be watching this thing. But that's exactly why I started doing this, is to really document it for posterity and knowing that at some point it would be interesting to go back and look and see, hey, what was life like? What was our thought process in March of 2020 or in the summer of 2020 throughout this pandemic? But so Ryan, Bree, thanks for doing it. I'm glad you enjoyed and get a kick out of it. In the news, there's a GOP-led effort to go out and, let's call it what it is, to suppress voting for the 2022 election. It's being really highlighted in Georgia, where they've passed sweeping voting reform to go in and really change a lot of the voting rules. Stuff like you can't give food and water to people waiting in line. They changed the hours. Now some things it's not all bad. Some of it they've said, oh geez, we're expanding voting here, etc. But it's really pretty clear that it's basically a second round of Jim Crow if you really look into it. It's subtle yet important things. I was talking with a buddy of mine, another middle-aged white guy like me, and this is something that's normally not on our radar because it doesn't impact us. But they've made changes that certainly align specifically with ensuring that it makes voting more difficult for minorities and Democratic voters. Which is just shameful. I mean, if you can't beat them, cheat. And talk about cheating. that's really the narrative they're having to go through, because the GOP has embraced the big lie, the whole lie that Trump pushed out there, that, hey, the only way we could lose is if the Democrats cheat. And that's the narrative he's pushed out there. It's been disproven multiple times, but that's their story. So if that's going to be your big lie, the next step has got to be, oh, now we did this sweeping voter reform to fix what was wrong. So it's just all fucking shady and anti-democratic with a little d. Little d is appropriate for most of the GOP, actually. But it's not American. It's un-American. I mean, we should be making it easier for people to vote if we want to be a democracy. And that's what scares the shit out of me about the GOP. They are just fully embracing Jim Crow type autocracy and going back to what we had in the late 1800s and first part of the last century. Speaking of that, there was actually an article today about the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger from Georgia, who's basically being pushed out because he stood up to Trump and wouldn't fudge the election for him. During that time, I actually wrote him a note of thanks for his bravery, and it looks like he's going to pay the price for it now. Talk about, it's just, as a country, we kind of suck. I mean, nobody wants to admit what's wrong. We just kept saying, oh, we're make America great, American exceptionalism. And I do love my country. I mean, shit, I'm a veteran, and I've got, shit all over my house, about American history and stuff. But part of that is accepting that there's shit we need to work on. We've got an inherently racist system that we have not addressed properly. And we're reverting back into stuff. And unless if we just pretend it doesn't exist, they always say the first part of solving a problem is admitting you have a problem. And instead of admitting we have a problem, we just keep sweeping it under the rug. So that ties into something that just came out in the news about Masahiro Tanaka, the Yankees Japanese pitcher, who just went back to Japan because the Yankees didn't re-sign him with another contract. And sadly, it's coming out that he basically was like, look, because of COVID and because of anti-Asian discrimination that his family was facing, that he's like, yeah, I don't feel safe in the United States anymore. I'm going back to Japan. And this is just coming out. And if a guy like Masahiro Tanaka, who's a freaking Yankee hero, doesn't feel safe, how can anybody? It's just fucking sad. All right. And something else that's sad, but much less serious, it just announced that George R.R. Martin was signed to a multi-year deal with HBO to develop all these Game of Thrones spinoffs. I'd say Game of Thrones was a book series that I absolutely loved. I loved the series on HBO, but it's got issues. Honestly, the finish of it and the lack of George R.R. Martin to actually finish the series has kind of soured me on what was otherwise a tremendous series. And just for some background, for those of you who don't know, and I think everybody knows about Game of Thrones, but George R.R. Martin, the author of the books, notorious for being slow about continuing the books. And there's still 2 more books that he was supposed to write to complete the series. And when HBO started the television series on their network, there was thought that, okay, by the time they get to the point of those next books, he will have finished the books, published them, so that he'll stay ahead or at least current with the series. That didn't happen. And then they really fumbled the completion of the television series. And whether that's because George R.R. Martin hadn't finished the books yet. I mean, he was involved in it, so he shared the plot. But it was a noticeable drop-off in the quality of the show, and it was one of the worst finishes to a series that television's ever seen, to the point that it went from being one of the best series out there to the horrible finish. It's like a gymnast. It's like not sticking the landing. It's like everything you do up until that point, doesn't matter how phenomenal. If you don't stick the landing, it's fucked. Not that I know much about gymnastics, but anyway, HBO and the Game of Thrones creators definitely did not stick the landing. And now that Martin's involved in all this stuff with doing like 5 spinoffs, it's like, dude, when are you going to finish the fucking books? And he's probably not going to. Just sad. Monday the 29th, just in bed, getting ready to go to sleep, watching this new show on Amazon called Invincible, which is kind of like The Boys from Amazon, except it's a cartoon. It's got Jeffrey Young from The Walking Dead is starring along with J.K. Simmons and Sandra Oh. It's pretty good. It's worth checking out. In the news, they finally got that ship unstuck in the Suez Canal, so that's good news. And also, they are expanding who can get COVID vaccinations here in New York. And I think starting tomorrow, it's like age 30 and up, and then they're going to open it up even more. I know where my daughter is in Vermont, in a couple weeks, they're going to open it up as well and let people, as long as you're over age 16, make appointments. So, vaccines rolling out. Tuesday, March 30th, just finished up work and actually got my taxes finished today. I do them myself. God, I've been doing them since I was, probably 18. And I still hate doing them. It's just annoying. But it is what it is. Wednesday, March 31st, opening day. Baseball is tomorrow, and right now it's Wednesday night, and I'm doing my Wednesday night whiskey and vinyl with 3 albums. The Police's Outlandos to More, which is their debut album. REM's Eponymous, which was a compilation best of album. And then the English beat, or just the beat, special beat service. Thursday, April 1st, opening day, which is when I'm wearing the Yankees hat, Yankees shirt, Yankees watch, got Yankees socks on, hung up my Yankees flag. Behind me, I've got my Stans sweatshirt. Listen to the game. It just the Yankees just freaking blew an opportunity to win the game in the bottom of the ninth, tied it 2. Runner on third with 1 out, and they didn't get him in. But actually got called out on a grounder. But anyway, I'm already going fucking crazy over the Yankees, and I am listening, not able to watch because of the contract dispute between Sinclair Communications, who owns the Yes Network, and Hulu, so it's just not able to stream. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to switch. I switched from YouTube last year to Hulu. AT&T has it. I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm not going to switch again. I'll just listen to the games, and hopefully they'll get it out here by the end of the season. But cold day, kind of wintry mix. We had snow today. I have not taken the dog for a walk. I've been done on my walk onto the treadmill, which sucks. But hopefully the Yankees pull it out here in extra innings. Fucking Yankees. They're just not doing anything. I forgot how much freaking they drive me crazy. And it's great to hear the crowd booing Stanton and Hicks as they fucking strike out. And God damn it, they lost the game. Had every fucking opportunity to win. And it's snowing out. Fuck, I forgot how much the ball games freaking impact my mood. This is the part where I talk about music. Little afternoon Band of Horses live stream from the Man Cave. You like this, Sammy? Was reading Brooklyn Vegan, and it highlighted 33 new songs that were out recently, and a couple of them by artists that I really like, that have a great track record that I really enjoy. First and foremost, a song called Into the Blue by the Joy Formidable, who's a band out of Wales that I've actually seen a couple times. Once opening for the Foo Fighters quite a while ago, and then more recently in December of 19, just a few months before the world shut down. Saw them at Albany, and it was a great show. Their song Whirring is, to me, one of the best songs out there. It's just a perfect song, and I love the sound of it, and it just got that freaking energy that pumps you up. Here's some of that from I actually got a chance to meet Ritzy Brown, the lead singer, and chat with her after the show and stuff like that. It was really one of the best shows I saw that year. But anyway, here's their song, assuming I can share it. We'll see how it works with copyright, called Into the Blue. Really good sound.
I know it's rare when you tremble again. Remember what others have lost. Go back to the place that we won't go again. Did I make the most of it before? I go back to the place that we won't go again, to live it over and over. Into the blue once again. Just one big wave, just one big wave, just one big wave. Don't feel the move out of the past. Let time take your hand and guide you into the blue, into the blue, into the outside without you.
Yeah, really like that song. I mean, it's not as good as Whirring, but that freaking sets a really high bar. The other artist is a guy named Jesse Malin out of New York. I've seen him 5 times, the most recent of which was actually the end of February, last week of February of 2020. So literally a couple weeks before the world shut down. But he's got a new song out called The Way We Used to Roll. That's got a decent sound.
I'm a stuff for the legend to lie on my mind. Get this guy out or I'll call him tonight. Been pacing my cage and I'll leave him for dead. So set him up, Joe, get me out of my head. Oh, do you remember the way we used to roll? Oh, do you remember before we got my soul? Oh, do you remember
So I mentioned my friend Ryan earlier, who used to be with EQX, and one of the things he used to do is the Sunday night show EQX Exposure that highlights local artists, and a guy named Pearson is doing that now. And something I was thinking about that would be tremendous, and it'd be hard to do, but it would be awesome if EQX was able to do maybe an annual compilation release, limited release vinyl of all the local artists. And because I see a lot of that Sub Pop, I've got stuff from Partisan, I just got one from Nice Swan. Now those are all labels, so that's the difference. That's the hurdles you'd have to get over, is that all these artists, or most of them, are going to be signed to different labels with different rights and stuff like that. But I think most of them are small enough that they would probably welcome the exposure, not a intentional play on words for the name of the show, to get on a limited release vinyl that could be, maybe the EQX releases at their annual festival, music festival, Pearlpalooza, and do that. I know I'd buy it. Who knows? It might be a bridge too far, but I actually texted Pearson about it. He may be like, yeah, dude, that's a lot of work for not much benefit. But just I thought it'd be cool. Irish band Sprints released their debut EP last week and did a live stream release of it. And it's Wednesday evening, Dublin time, but Wednesday afternoon, New York time. So I was able to get in and catch some of it.
Nobody to point me what to do, and I don't need nobody to tell me what to say. I've got a policy of understanding, an economy that's underwhelming. No, I can't shake the sense, the second presents it, just wishing my life away. Come and take me, show me what's right. And I don't need nobody to come and hold my hand. And I don't need nobody to let fall out the land. I've got a policy of understanding. He said, baby, are you straight? He said, baby, are you straight? Said, bye, bye, bye. Hold the street, hold the street, hold the street, got me see train. Hold the street, hold the street, hold the street, nobody train.
Was calling through a festival way out west. I was thinking about love and the acid test. At first I got real dizzy with the real rockin' gang, and then I saw the Coma go on the excitement gang, and the rain came in from the wide blue yonder. Through all the stages I wander. Oh, Coma go on the excitement gang. Mona Lisa on a motorcycle can. Coma go. Coma go. Coma girl was beating with the Alton gang. Some fast food fanatic was burning down a burger van. Somebody was waiting off the head. Oh, nobody is ripping the tin dead. And the rain came in from the white blue yonder. I thought you and me might wander. Oh, Coma girl, on the excitement
see thou was falling upon desolation road. So I now band at the last drop on the go. Let's siphon up some gas. Let's get this show on the road. Said the Coma go to the excitement gang. Into action, everybody sprang. And the old drums were beating out. Too-lang, too-lang. Coma go of the excitement gang. On a motorcycle gang.
Just as an FYI, I've created Spotify playlists for both this week's music as well as all the quarantine vinyl that I've listened to. It's in the description below.
What did Craig get from Amazon?
A bag full of new clothes in smaller sizes for the summer. 3 polo shirts, a couple of pairs of shorts. All right, let's see. This looks like some vinyl. A nice Aussie band by the name of Skegss. They're kind of a surf punk kind of band, kind of an Aussie fiddler. Heard these guys and saw them actually out at Boston Calling, and they were a fun set.
We came, well, we didn't, yeah. We came from Australia, but we were here last night. I don't know. This is the first song we made. Yeah, it's our first song. Just to reiterate that.
Freaking crazy artwork on here. But they were fun as hell. I'll share some of both their set at Boston Calling, and I'll pick a song off of this to share. So check this out. Actually, they've got inside the insert here is all freaking all the drawings, or excuse me, all the songs converted into drawings by one of the guys in the band. That's a neat little feature in here. Poster. Alright, so more stuff for the man cave. These are storage cases for my cassettes, which shipped probably ages ago. I had something for my old cassettes stored in, but I don't know what the hell I did with them. Now they're just in a damn box. So, but they'll be able to go into this zip-up thing and store them over with my vinyl and whatnot. So, not exactly sexy, but functional. Let's see, where the hell's the zipper? There it is. And I think I got plenty of it. I don't have a lot of the cassettes left. Right in here, and this thing folds open, and you'll be able to see them through the clear plastic. All right, delivery from Nice One. This should be vinyl for Sprints, which is an Irish female-led band that is just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm really enjoying it. This is their EP. See if I can get this freaking, they got this sealed pretty good. All right, so that took a little bit to get through that duct tape. I want to get it in without cutting up the vinyl. So, nice. So, this is a compilation one. So they threw this in for free. What RIP Records is the current A&R guy for Nice Swan used to run this record label, and I guess it went defunct. A lot of these bands have switched to Nice Swan. Another order, so, but then here is Sprint. So the wait to get this vinyl, it's funny. A buddy of mine got his, I want to say over the weekend, and mine didn't come till Tuesday for some reason. And we either ordered it at the same time, or I may have actually ordered it beforehand. It is what it is. So, it is, oh, outstanding. Joe Strummer, a collection of Joe Strummer stuff. And you know what? That might be why mine took longer, is because I got the full package and not just the vinyl. But it's a collection of his work called Assembly. And Joe Strummer, most of you, anybody watching this probably knows, was the lead singer of The Clash. Passed away, God, maybe almost 20 years ago now. What a phenomenal freaking vinyl, though. I got the limited red, because of course I did, but I'm really looking forward to giving this a listen. And love Coma Girl's one of my favorite songs by him, but everything's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. Got those stickers too. Oh, nice. I don't have any other message than don't forget you were alive. Well, that's kind of cool. That may have to go in a frame or something like that. Throw that up here or in my office or something. Very nice. Without people, nothing. Friday, April 2nd, just finished up the workday and just kind of wrapping up the day, getting ready to have a chill evening tonight. In the news, kudos to MLB. The All-Star Game is supposed to be in Atlanta this year, and because of all the voter suppression laws that just got passed by the legislature in Georgia, MLB's decided to not hold the MLB All-Star Game there. So good for them. There's consequences for freaking bad decisions, and I'm glad to see that different companies have come out and taken a stand and publicly said that they don't support that. Coca-Cola's done it. I know American's done it down in Texas. Delta came out a little late, but you're starting to get it. The people are just realizing that where the Trump Republicans are is not where the general public's at. It's a small minority that supports that stuff, and it's not the 1890s and the 1920s anymore. So, anyways, hope everybody's well. Stay safe. This will be my next to last video. As of a week from today, I will have been 2 weeks from my second dose and be immune, and hopefully my COVID story will be over for anybody who's still watching.